Welcome to this practice for menopause. I know that's a little bit corny, but this allows us the time to slow down and focus on ourselves to melt away some of those troublesome symptoms. This practice is a yang first and a yin second. So that means we'll be a little bit more active to start and then we'll settle down for the second part of the practice, where you will need your props. So grab your bolsters, your blocks, your pillows, your blankets, your towels, whatever it is that you have at home, and we'll get started. Okay, we'll start this practice in a comfortable seated position, and you can sit any way that feels the best for you, cross-legged, on your knees, on props, in a chair, whatever feels the best. We're going to start with just some settling breath, and then we'll move into the alternate nostril breathing. I recommend having some tissues around because sometimes when you do pranayama, snots happen. It's just part of the way things go. So go ahead and grab some tissues if you need to and get comfy. So to start, we'll just sit with the palms up, nice tall spine, let the eyes close, and focus in on your breath. If you get the urge to take a deep breath or yawn, go ahead and follow that impulse. Your body knows what it needs when it comes to the breath. Gradually start to deepen the breath. Let your eyes start to blink open. And let's move into the alternate nostril breathing. So taking your peace fingers and bringing it up to your third eye, you're going to use the pad of your thumb and the pad of the ring finger on the bridge of the nose, right where the flesh and the bone kind of meet. Right when you touch, you can feel down there. So go ahead and place your hand. We'll do about 6 rounds. So we're going to start with an inhale through both nostrils. As you exhale, use your thumb, block the right nostril, and exhale out the left. Inhale through the left. Switch so that you're blocking the left, release the right, exhale right. Inhale right. Switch fingers, exhale left. That's 1 round. Inhale left. Switch fingers, exhale right. Inhale right. Switch fingers, exhale left. Inhale left. Switch fingers, exhale right. Continue for 3 more rounds. Once you've finished that last round, let your hand gently come down to the thigh. We'll take a brief Savasana. So find your way into your Savasana. And we'll stay here for a few moments. As you rest in your Savasana, the reason why alternate nostril breathing is good for us and balancing is that when we take it from the left side is known as the cooling side. Very balancing for the brain, but starting on the left helps to keep it cool. Take one more breath here in Savasana. And gently roll on to one side. And press yourself back up to a seated position. Now, from here, we're going to take dangling, which is like an uttanasana, but we'll use support underneath the head. So take your props and make sure that they are nearby so that you can easily stack them. I'm not sure how high it has to be or how you need it, but I'm going to stack it to where I think maybe it needs to be, and then we can adjust later. So you're going to come up to standing in a Tadasana, feet about hip width apart. Take a nice inhale and lengthen through the spine, and as you exhale, you're going to bring the head downward. And you want the head to rest on your props. You will feel some sensation through the back of the leg, and if you don't, then adjust your props accordingly so that you do and you still feel supported on the top of your head. If this is too much on your lower back, then slightly bend the knees. You can let the arms rest wherever they feel comfortable for you, and we'll stay here for about 10 breaths. If at any point you get dizzy or this doesn't feel right or you get lightheaded, then ease down into your child's pose. Take one more nice breath here. Let's start to energize the arms. We're going to start to walk ourselves up to vertical, but nice and slow. Using the hands against the shin, inhale as you roll up. Continue to walk the hands up. If you get dizzy at any point, just stay and breathe. Take another breath. Slowly coming up to vertical, finding your length. And just stand here for a few moments. Enjoy that rush of sensation as you straighten out the body. Good. Let the eyes gently blink open if they're closed. And let's move the props now off to the side of the mat. And here comes the yang part. So we're going to move through a moon salutation. Planting those feet firmly down into the mat. As you inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, interlace the fingers. Exhale, straighten the arm and lengthen through the torso. Pointer fingers are sticking straight up. Take another inhale, lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, lean over to the right. Inhaling, coming up through center. Exhale, lean over to the left. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale, release the arms. Release the left foot. Step back and face the side of your mat. So you want the legs to be a little bit wider than the hips. Come up into star pose. And then exhale, bend the knees into goddess. We'll stay here for a few breaths. On your inhale, straighten the arms and legs. We're going to transition into triangle pose. Right toes turn in, left toes turn to face the back of your mat. Your hips can shift, arms extend, and then find your triangle. And it's okay if it's not the deepest triangle. We're just getting ourselves moving and the body warming up. Again, we'll stay for a few breaths. One more breath here. On your inhale, come up through vertical. Exhale where you need. We're going to turn to the back of the mat now and come into Parsvottanasana. So squaring off the hips to the back of the mat, back leg inwardly rotates, lengthening up through the spine. As you exhale, folding forward. Hands can come to blocks if you'd like, your shin or your thigh. Getting a nice stretch through the hamstring. Now, if this is bothersome on your lower back, then keep yourself more upright. Keep the belly engaged so that we're not straining the back. One more breath here. Take another inhale. As you exhale, fingertips are going to come down to the mat. Find your way into your low lunge. Once you're in your low lunge, bring the hands either to the thigh or sweep them up overhead. Breathing here. On your exhale, hands come to the inside of the front foot. Tuck the back toe and turn into your side lunge skandasana. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Good. On your next breath, let's walk to the other side so your weight comes into the right foot. Left leg extends and find your skandasana on this side. We'll stay for about 3 breaths. Good. On your inhale, lift the head. Exhale, turn yourself to the front of your mat now so the right leg is in front, and gently lower the back knee for low lunge. Hands come up to the thigh or sweep them up overhead, staying for about 3 or 4 breaths. Good. On your exhale, gently release the hands down. Now we come into peri-menopause. Tucking the back toe, hop the back foot forward a bit. You can bring the spine upright. Get the hips squared off. And as you exhale, refold. Hands can go where they need to be supportive to you. Just be mindful not to put it on the knee joint itself. Breathing into that hamstring. One more breath here. On your inhale, come up through vertical. Exhale where you need. We're going to transition into triangle pose. So you might need to walk the back leg out a little bit. Let the hips shift, arms extend, and then exhale, triangle pose. Staying for about 3 breaths. One more nice full inhale. One more exhale. Then come up through vertical, inhaling as you do. Turn yourself into star pose, outwardly rotating the legs. Exhale, goddess. Stay for another 3 breaths. Go ahead, inhale, straighten the arms and legs. Exhale, step up to the top of the mat. Take a nice full breath here with the arms. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, hands come down to the heart. Let's take that breath one more time. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, interlace those fingers, and we do the other side. Standing up nice and tall through the spine, feet rooted down into the mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, leaning over to the left. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale, lean over to the right. Inhaling, coming up through center. Exhale, release the arms. Right foot now steps behind. Open yourself up to the side of your mat, star pose, and then exhale, bend the knees into goddess. Staying for a few breaths. Inhale, straightening the arms and legs. Exhale, transition yourself into your triangle pose. And we stay for another few breaths. Inhaling, coming up through vertical. Turn yourself to face the back of your mat. Turn the hips, peri-menopause. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, find that forward fold. Do your best to maintain a nice long spine here. And it's okay if the hamstrings are a little more open. You might find that maybe you're a couple centimeters closer to the mat. Even if you're not, no big deal. As long as your body's feeling pretty good, you're in a good place. On your next breath, soften the front knee, fingertips come down, find that low lunge. Bringing the hands to the thigh. You can keep them here or sweep them up overhead for a few breaths. And on an exhale, bring your hands down to the inside of the front foot, tuck the back toe, and find that side lunge Skandasana. If you feel more open now, you can fold forward. Just be mindful not to let the head drop forward. Maintain the integrity of the length of the spine. Good. From here, bring yourself upright and shift over to the other side. Side lunge, weight is on the left leg. And if the forward fold is there for you, go ahead and take it. If not, then just go wherever it feels good for you. On your inhale, bring yourself up through vertical. Exhale, flip into your high lunge, facing the front of your mat, and then exhale over to your low lunge. Hands can come to the thigh or sweep them up overhead for a few breaths. Gently releasing the hands down, tuck the back toe, find your way into your Parsvottanasana, hopping the back foot forward a bit, being mindful that the hips stay square, and as you exhale, forward fold. On your inhale, coming up. Exhale, finding your triangle pose. Inhaling, coming up through vertical, find star pose. Legs are outwardly rotated, facing the side of your mat. Then exhale, goddess pose for about 3 breaths. On your inhale, straighten the arms and legs. Exhale, step up to the top of the mat. Find your Tadasana. 2 breaths with the arms. Inhaling, sweeping them up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Okay, from here, we're going to take Padangustasana. So that's a fancy word for taking your peace fingers and you're going to hook them around your big toes. Okay? We have another forward fold coming. Now, if you want the support under your forehead, feel free to set up your blocks for this if you'd like. Take those peace fingers, wrap them around your big toes. And what you want here is the wrist stacked over the big toe, which is stacked over the middle knuckle, right? So that you have all that alignment going on. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Make sure your weight is in the middle of your foot. Exhale, bend the elbows out to the side and fold. Now again, you can rest on your blocks or not. And we'll stay here for about 4 breaths. All these inversions are wonderful for memory. They're good for headaches, for irritability. It's said that because of the amount of blood that comes towards the brain, it helps to relieve some of these symptoms. Good. On your inhale, lift the head. Exhale where you need. You're going to release the hands now and slide them underneath for Hasta Padangustasana. So the toes will tickle the wrists, and bend your knees as much as you need to find this position. The hands can take more pressure than you can think unless you have an injury. So of course, take care of yourself as you move through this. Bring your weight so the balls of the feet are in the palm of the hand. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, refold. Elbows out to the sides. And we're getting a little deeper through the backs of the legs. One more full breath. Good. On your inhale, lift the head. Exhale, release the hands, bring them to your thighs or to your waist. Inhale, bring yourself about halfway up. Exhale where you need. Inhale, bring yourself all the way up to vertical. And exhale. We'll just stay in Tadasana for a few breaths before we move on. And you can use the arms here or not, up to you, but I'm going to use the arms. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's go one more time. Good. So from here, we're going to move into a somewhat challenging pose. This is what? Utthita Hasta-Padangusthasana. Yeah. So what that means is it's a standing big toe hold. So we did all that hamstring opening to prepare us for this next posture. Now, if you have balance issues, feel free to move up against a wall or use a chair under your hand for balance. And if you have a hard time reaching your toes, no sweat. There are other variations that we'll go through right now. So standing up nice and tall in your Tadasana, shift the weight over into your left foot. Make sure that the hips maintain their parallelisms. Bring the right thigh up towards the chest. Hold on to the shin bone and pull up. Now, if this is what you've got in your hamstrings, then you can stay here. If you have a little bit more, you can hold on to the outside of the foot, and even more, big toe hold. Try not to bring the arm in the inside, because you can see here my thigh started to outwardly rotate. We want to keep this parallel. So grabbing on to whatever you can reach, and then letting the leg extend if it's available. Breathing here, making sure the shoulder rolls back. Now you can use a prop for this as well. If you know how to, feel free to use the prop here. Good, one more breath. We're going to take the leg to an open position out to the side. So bring that right leg out to the right, maintain the parallel hips, and let your head rotate to the left away from the leg. This helps you balance. And this top knee can bend if you need to. Breathing here. So this pose is good for the chakra that holds our reproductive organs. Gives it energy, gives it light, gives it blood flow. This is why we're doing this pose. Good. On your inhale, slowly bring that right leg back in front. Gently release and bring it down to the mat. Good, you can shake out those legs. Balance is also very important as we age and we get older. I don't think I need to tell you that. I think you probably already know that. This is why we need to work our balance as well, right? So let's move on to the other side. Gently shift your weight over into the right foot. Left thigh lifts up, grab onto the shin bone, and gently pull the thigh towards your chest. Do your best to stay upright here. And you have the same options on this side as you had on the other. So holding onto the shin bone, the outside of the foot, or big toe hold. Strap could work here too. So when you're ready, let the leg extend as far as it wants to go. Roll the shoulder back. Try to maintain a nice tall spine. The spine is more important than the leg here. So if the knee is bent, who cares? As long as you're feeling a little bit of a stretch, you're good. Keep breathing. Good, from here, let the leg open up to the left, head rotates to the right. Maintain that nice square pelvis. And breathe. Good, gently bring the leg back to center in front of the hip. Release. all the way down to the mat. Give the legs a nice shake. Okay, from here, let's bring ourselves down to the mat. On your inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, dive it forward, find your Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bring the hands down to the mat. Find your way back to plank and just gently lower down knees, hips, and chest. Very small cobra here. And then exhale, let's come back to a nice wide leg child's pose. Here's where the yin part comes in. So grab your props, pillows, blankets, bolsters, and bring it as close to your belly as you can. We're gonna take a nice forward fold here. So make sure all your props are in arm's reach. From here, we're going to lengthen down, and you have your choice here. You can either rest your forehead down so that your neck is neutral, or if you like, you can rotate the head to one side or the other. If you choose to rotate the head, I'll give you a cue about halfway through so that you can make sure the neck gets equal rotation. We will stay here for about 8 to 10 breaths, so make sure you're nice and comfy. It's okay to close the eyes here and just make sure that everything is supported. As we move through the yin section of this practice, I will offer you some affirmations. If you don't resonate with the affirmations, it's okay. Focus in on your breath and the sensation in your body instead. But if you do resonate with them, repeat them in your mind as many times as you need. If your head is rotated to one side, gently lift the head and switch to the other side. Your first affirmation: I am present within myself. I am present within myself. On your inhale, gently lift the head. Move your props out of the way. And gently find your way onto your sit bones and let the legs extend out in front. If your knees feel a little bit stiff, then be very gentle with them. You can give a little rock of the legs or a little bounce just to release them out before we move on. All right, so the next pose we'll move into is Janu Shirshasana. Let's take the right leg. Just to prep for it, give a little cradle from side to side. So you're holding on to the outer leg, outer knee. From here, let's take that right foot and bring it toward the inner thigh. Now, if you feel like you're falling backwards here, prop underneath your sit bones so that you feel upright. This is important so that you feel supported as we move through the pose. Now the hips are more or less squared off, but you'll notice that your legs will be a little bit wider. It's okay. We're gonna take the props and bring them up. So if you have your bolster, your pillows, your blankets, bring it up on the straight leg. Have your other props nearby just in case you need them. We're gonna take a little micro twist so that you're facing the bolster. Lift up nice and tall through the chest and the spine, and then as you exhale, start to melt forward on your prop. Now you can bring pillows or blocks underneath the forehead. We want to keep that supported as well. It gives us a nice sense of security and safety to have the head supported. It also, on a physical level, protects the joints and muscles from overstretching. So let yourself melt here. We're going to stay for a longer period of time. And the time is here for you to take care of yourself, to settle in, and to focus in on your breath. This pose targets the hamstrings, the lower back, and the hips, and through the spine. You don't have to have an intense sensation here. We want to just simply melt into it and find a sense of relaxation. Your next affirmation: I can center myself with the ease of my breath. I can center myself with the ease of my breath. On your next inhale, slowly and gradually start to roll up through the spine. Move your props to the side. And we're going to take a little bit of a rebound pose in Savasana. So let the right leg extend. Gently lie back. And we'll rest in Savasana for a few breaths. Rebound poses do exactly what the title says. It allows the body to bounce back. The areas of the body that were compressed now get that rush of energy. Fluids come back into that area and replenish it. One more breath here in Savasana. Very gently and slowly roll onto one side. Press yourself up to a seated position. And we'll move into Janushirshasana on the other side. So taking that left leg now, bringing it into a cradle position and gently rock from side to side. From here, let's take the bottom of the foot and bring it to the inner leg of the straight leg. Prop yourself as you need. You're bringing your pillows, blankets, bolster onto the straight leg. Grab additional props if you need. Sit up nice and tall through the spine. As you exhale, start to roll down through the spine. And find whatever works for you on this side. You may find that you need to support and prop other joints in different ways. If you need to, then do it. But once you find your comfortable position, allow yourself to just melt and relax. And the next affirmation: I feel grounded, confident, worthy, and whole. I feel grounded, confident, worthy, and whole. Take one more nice big breath here. And slowly and mindfully start to roll up through the spine. Move the props out of your way, and we'll find our way to Savasana once again. Take one more nice big breath here. Very gently roll onto one side and press yourself up to a seated position. Our next pose we're going to move into is called Sleeping Deer. This is another spiral. This will help to target this central area of the hips, the lower belly, and the low back. So again, you want to bring your bolster or your props onto the mat. So as you can see here, I'm sitting with the legs in a nice W position. Doesn't matter which one you have in front first, whichever one you'd like. Then bring the prop up to the hip of your front leg. From there, you're going to sit up nice and tall and give a twist so that you're facing your prop. The back hip can come off the mat. It does not need to stay on the mat itself. From here, give a twist. We're going to lay down on the belly. Now you have a choice here with the head and the neck. You can rest facing the same direction as your legs, so keeping the neck in a neutral position, or you can rotate it around to the opposite side so that you're in a full twist. If you need extra support, feel free to bring something underneath the head if you want more height. And if you want more intensity here, the top leg can move further behind you. This will increase the sensation through the waist, the hip, and the lower back. If you don't feel much here, that's okay too. But know that your body is receiving benefit from it, even if it doesn't feel like anything. If you don't feel much, then just gently breathe and enjoy this time for yourself. And the next affirmation, I am alive, connected, and aware. I am alive, connected, and aware. Take one more nice big breath here. If your neck is in full rotation, gently lift it up and turn it so it's in neutral. And slide the arms underneath the shoulders and gently press into the hands and bring yourself up to vertical. Move your props out of your way. And we find Savasana just for a few breaths, right? Another rebound pose. Take one more nice big breath. And gently roll yourself onto one side. And press yourself up into a seated position. So we have sleeping deer now on the second side. I'll make sure you have the opposite leg in front to create that W shape in the legs. Bring your props over so that it lines up with your hip. Sit up nice and tall through the spine. Twist around so that you're facing your props. And then gently lay down belly and chest onto your props. And turn the head in whichever direction feels the best for you. Arms can go wherever they're comfortable for you. Just make sure that everything is supported. And if you want more intensity, then move that back leg further back. Once you have found your sweet spot, just let yourself relax and melt into the pose. And your final affirmation. The sweetness of life flows through me and I radiate its joy. The sweetness of life flows through me and I radiate its joy. Take one more nice big breath here in sleeping deer. If your neck is in full rotation, then gently lift it and rotate it so it's in the other direction. And slide the hands underneath the shoulders and slowly roll up through the spine. From here, move slowly and we'll take our final Shavasana. Now, since we have all these beautiful props, let's support the legs by bringing the props underneath the knees. This also helps to support the lower back. So gently roll down onto the spine. Once you're there, move the props so that they're right underneath the knee joint. If it's cold where you are, grab a blanket or two and make sure that you keep yourself nice and warm in this Savasana. If it's bright and you want more darkness, then place something over your eyes. Let your arms extend out to your sides at a comfortable angle with the palms flipped upward. Let the eyes close and take rest. Gradually start to deepen your breath. Find energy in the fingers, toes, wrists, ankles, hands, and feet. Let the arms extend up overhead. Bring the legs together underneath you for a nice long stretch. And then gently hug the knees in towards your chest. Give a little rock from side to side. From here, roll onto your right side into fetal position, using your right arm as a pillow for your head. And gently press yourself up to a seated position. Eyes remain closed. You can bring your hands either to prayer in front of the heart, or one hand on your heart and one on your belly. Take a few moments to check in to see how you feel after that practice. Hopefully your symptoms have either calmed down or subsided altogether. Take a few moments for some gratitude, something you're thankful for in this moment, and a few reasons why. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste.